Hello. I think this is working. I hope it's working. I hope I can see comments. Let everybody jump on. If you are here and you can hear me, do you want to just comment and say hey and maybe where you're from? If you are a student, maybe what grade you teach, that would be awesome. Or even if you're a teacher, because I know I've enjoyed watching these as a teacher. Yay, okay, hi. I think people are on, that's awesome. Okay, while everybody's jumping on, I am gonna go ahead and just introduce myself. So my name is Halee Sikorski, and I am a third grade teacher in Illinois. So I love third grade. I've also taught fifth grade, so I know a little bit of everything. And I am super excited to be here today. So as you can see from my poster, my anchor chart back here, we are going to be reading The Good Egg, which is a super awesome picture book. I'm not sure if you've read it before, but it's a good one, and we are going to have a lot of fun. So I'm going to go ahead and dive in here. I'm going to post the link to my resources. So if you want to check those out, you can go ahead and click that and then follow along with me that way. So we'll go ahead and jump in. Okay, so I have got a dozen of eggs right here, a dozen. Do you know how many is in a dozen? Maybe you've heard of a dozen eggs, a dozen cookies. I love cookies and eggs, right? So let's go ahead and open it up. I haven't eaten any yet. So there are 12. In a dozen of eggs, you have 12 eggs, right? So you might be wondering, what are you doing with this carton of eggs, right? Well, I promise there is a point. This isn't a cooking show. You're still in the right place. So we've got all these awesome eggs, and they can do a lot of things, right? They can make eggs, they can make cookies, they can make brownies. I like sweet things. We can use them for a lot of things. It's all good, right? It's not cracked. Nothing's wrong with it. Now, what would happen if I were to just like drop it? Oh, the yolk would come out, right? That's like the yellow stuff on the inside. If I were to crack it, it would just like ooze all over the place. It's sticky, it's gross. If I put it back in the carton like that, what would happen? It would just get all over the eggs, right? It would just be nasty, no fun. If I were to put this back in the fridge with my cracked egg and then take it out a couple hours later, I have oozy yolk all over my carton. Would I be able to use that in my cake? No way, I'd have to pick a different egg, right? So we have to take care of the eggs. We have to make sure that we're really careful when we put them in the fridge. We're careful when we bring them home from the store. We're careful not to just like drop them all over the place, because then they wouldn't be good at all. Now, you're like, yes, we know, don't crack the eggs. There's a point, okay? So we have to take care of our eggs in the fridge, and you're gonna see in our story too. Now, if you watched the lesson yesterday with Miss Harper, she did such an awesome job. She talked about characters and characterization. Now, when we think of characters in a story, normally we think of things like people or animals, maybe, things like that, right? So, have you ever thought that an egg could be a character? It can be. I know, still sounds totally crazy. I don't usually think of things as characters. I usually think of people or animals, like we said, but things can be characters too. It's really crazy. So today in our book, The Good Egg, we're going to go through and read about, look at him, he's so cute. He's a good little egg, how he goes on some adventures and discovers different things with other eggs, and he discovers things about himself too. So today our character is an egg, but we're not talking about characters today. We're going to be talking about theme. So the way that I like to remember theme is, you can kind of see it in the word. It's like the message of the book, the message of the story that we can take back to our own lives and apply to a whole bunch of things. So often the author is not just going to say straight out in his story, the theme is. That's no fun. That's our job as the readers, to take the text and things that we already know and figure out a lesson that we can then apply to our own lives. And it's usually not just something that applies to the book. It's something that you can take back to your own life and figure out and apply all of the things together. So as we are reading this book today, we're going to be thinking about a message that we can take back for the rest of the week, for the rest of the month, forever, something that's going to help us be better people and teach us something to help us out in life. So in the principles, you will see there is a little handout that looks like my anchor chart that you can follow along with me. And then we've also got some vocabulary words that I want to touch on before we dive into our book today. So it looks like this. I've got the words for you. I went ahead and defined it. And then if you want to take the time to go ahead and draw it, you can do that too to illustrate it. So the first word actually I already told you about, dozen. So I said we've got a dozen eggs. You could have a dozen cookies. A dozen means 12. So you can have 12 of something. The next word that we're going to come across in our book today is called recycle. So that word might sound familiar. At the beginning of the word recycle is the prefix re, and usually re means to do it again, to do something again. So if you're recycling something, you're using it again. And that could be maybe you reuse a box, you recycle a box that you got in the mail and you decide to use it for something else at home, or you also could recycle that material and then it goes off and then it's turned into something else, which is really neat. Recycling is a good thing to do. The next word on our list today to help us understand the story a little bit better is ignore. So I just got a new puppy and sometimes he barks a lot and sometimes I have to ignore him. So if you're ignoring something, you're not paying attention to it, you don't really want to notice it, you're just kind of like, I'm ignoring you right now. Hopefully you're not ignoring your parents or anything like that. And then the last word on our list today is wander. So if you are wandering, I personally like to wander through Target. So I haven't been able to do that in a while, but I hope I can get back to doing that soon. If you are wandering, you don't really have a destination or a goal. You're just hanging out. So you might wander in the park. Like I said, I like to wander at Target. Maybe you're wandering around your neighborhood because it's so good to get outside right now. Anything like that. So those are our 4 words today that are going to help us understand this book a little bit better. Again, that'll be in the printables and you can take some time to draw what each of those words look like to you. Okay, we're going to go ahead and jump into our book today. So I told you it is called The Good Egg. It is by Jory John and Pete Oswald. I love this book. Maybe you have seen it before, maybe you've read it before, maybe you love it. But either way, we're going to go through it again today. And like I said, we're going to be talking about theme. So as I'm reading, I want you to think about what our character, the egg, is going through and maybe something that he learns along the way that we can then go ahead and apply to our own lives. Sound good? Oh, I forgot to teach you. When I say sound good, you say sounds great. Sound good? Okay, do it one more time. Sound good? All right, sounds great to me. Here we go. The Good Egg. Oh, hello. I was just rescuing this cat. Know why? Because I'm a good egg. A very good egg. He looks happy. It's true. I do all kinds of good things. Like, I'll carry your groceries, I'll water your plants, I'll change your tires, I'll paint your house. Look at this house. If you need any help whatsoever, I'm your egg. I don't think I would want my house to be painted like that, but it does sound like he's very helpful. I've always been a good egg. It's been this way from the start, even in my earliest days. There were a dozen of us, there's that word, 12, living together under one recycled roof. There was Meg and Peg and Greg and Clegg. Oh my goodness, all those words rhyme. And Shell and Shelly and Sheldon and Shelby and Egbert and Frank and other Frank. Lots of eggs. The other 11 eggs weren't on their best behavior. They weren't exactly good. They ignored their bedtime. They only ate sugary cereal. They threw tantrums. Now, if you didn't know what that word meant, we could use our context clues by looking at the picture. It looks like they're screaming, ah! They cried for no reason. She is crying. It looks like a birthday cake, her birthday party. I don't cry on my birthday. They broke their stuff on purpose. Oh my goodness, these eggs do not sound good, huh? Meanwhile, I tried to take charge. I tried to fix their bad behavior. I tried to keep the peace because I was a good egg. A very good egg. Very good. Nobody seemed to care, though. Every night I was exhausted. My head felt scrambled. Then, one fateful morning, I noticed some cracks in my shell. Can you see? He's saying, yikes. He has a sign on him that says, kick me. They were everywhere. Now, let's take a time out. Why do we think our friend Egg, the good egg, is cracking? He was helping so many people. He was doing a good job, but now it says he's exhausted, his head is scrambled, and he's cracking. Why might that be? Let's find out. My doctor said it was from all the pressure I was putting on myself. The pressure of making sure everybody was as good as me. He's got some yolk over here. I think that's funny. I was cracking up. Literally, something had to change. I'd had enough. So because he's trying to fix everybody, he's kind of cracking himself, huh? I told Meg and Peg and Greg and Clegg and Shell and Shelly and Sheldon and Shelby and Egbert and Frank and other Frank that I was leaving. I can't be the only good egg in a bad carton, I said. Blah, blah, blah. They replied. I left that night. Look at him. He looks pretty sad and lonely. I wonder what he's going to go do. I wandered, there's our word, just kind of walking, wandered from town to town. The hours became days. The days became weeks. I lost track of time. You can kind of see it's been a long time because he is growing a beard. That's funny. Do eggs grow beards? No. I was alone. Out there on the road, under the stars, I really tried to focus on myself and what I needed. Sounds like a good idea. Looks like he trimmed his beard off. I took walks. I read books. I floated in the river. I wrote in my journal. I found simple moments to be quiet. I breathed in. I breathed out. Do it with me. It feels good. Nice. I even started painting. Good for him. So it sounds like he's kind of doing some things to relax, maybe take some time for himself. I wonder if that's going to fix the cracks on his shell. For once, I found time for me. How does he look on this picture? Yes, very relaxed. He looks happy again. That's good. And guess what? Little by little, the cracks in my shell started to heal. My head no longer felt scrambled. Well, that's good news. So by taking time for himself, he's feeling a little bit better. I wonder what he's going to do. I started to feel like myself again. He looks very at peace there. So, I've made a big decision. I'm returning to my old carton and my friends. Besides, I'm kind of lonely out here. I would be lonely too. This time, I know what I need to do. I'll try not to worry so much. I'll be good to my fellow eggs while also being good to myself. It's a good note. Here we go. How do you think the eggs are going to treat him when he comes back? Everybody missed me. I missed them too. They made him a sign that says, welcome home. Hello, Meg. Howdy, Peg. Hey, Greg. Greetings, Clegg. What's up, Shell? Aloha, Shelly. Hey-o, Sheldon. Hi, Shelby. Good day, Egbert. What's happening, Frank? Howdy do, other Frank. Look how they look pretty happy, huh? They're happy he's home. Sure, every once in a while, somebody's still a little bit bad. But it's not like before. Here's what I realized. The other eggs aren't perfect, and I don't have to be either. I'm okay with that. Looks like they're still kind of playing around down there. Yep, the old carton is back together. We're a solid dozen again. 12. It's good to be home. It's kind of funny if you look at all their faces. The end. Okay, what'd you guys think about the book? I think it's so fun, and I think our good egg friend learned quite a bit on his little journey. So at the very beginning, he was helping out all of the eggs, he was doing lots of things for his neighbors, but then his shell started to crack. So at the end, he decided to take some time for him, and he realized that that's kind of when he was able to help everybody and be his best self, right? So we're going to take all that, we're going to take the text, things that we already know, and we're going to try to figure out the theme. So that's the lesson or the message that we could learn from reading this story. Now, there are a few things you could take away from this story. It's definitely important to help others and things like that. But for me, I think the key the author was trying to tell us here is that you really have to be your best self before you can go help others. So he took a ton of time. He went for walks, he painted, things like that, right? And then after he did that, then his crack started to heal, and that's when he was able to go help others. So to me, I really think the theme is that you have to love yourself first. So I'm going to fill that in our egg carton here. I'm going to say love yourself first. And you can fill that in on the printable if you want. Now, with our theme, we're able to figure this out by using evidence from the story. So that's events or things that the author did say in the story to help us prove or support our theme. Now, I usually like to go beginning, middle, and end because we can think about a lot of things that happen during the story and those important parts. So, like I said at the beginning, how is the egg really feeling? He was helping the others, right? But he was kind of tired, right? He was tired from helping everyone. So at first, I'm going to say the egg was exhausted from trying to fix everyone. Exhausted from fixing. Exhausted just means tired. So he's exhausted from fixing everyone, right? Then in the middle, what actually happened to his shell? It said his head was scrambled. Makes me think of scrambled eggs all mixed up. That's not a good feeling. And his shell started to crack, right? So we're going to go ahead and fill that in. So his shell cracked kind of under the pressure, right? And we talked about at the beginning how if my eggs are cracked, can I use them to make my cake or my cookies or even my eggs? No, because it's cracked and the yolk is all over the place. It's no good. So you have to be your best self. My egg needs to be not cracked at all so that I can use it in all the good things, right? Yes. And then finally at the end, he realized what? So he took some time by himself. He wandered off alone. He was a little lonely, but he took some time and spent some time with himself. He did good things. When he returned, he ended up being better, right? And he realized that not everybody's perfect, but that's okay. He still can help others because he was feeling himself. So when he finally took time for himself, he was much happier. Yes, that's going to be my last box down here. When he took time for himself, he was happier. So I really think it's important for you to think about things that you can do that make you happy. We know it's so important to go and help others, but I think often we're quick to just give to other people, like our egg was at the beginning. You know, he was helping cats out of trees, he was getting groceries for people, painting houses, trying to watch all the other eggs. But it made him crack. So when he finally stepped away and took some time for himself, went for walks, painted, he went to the spa. I'd like to go to the spa. He felt much better. And then when he returned back to his dozen of eggs, he was happy. Yeah? Very good. So in the rest of these printables that I am sharing with you, this is my favorite one that I made. So this little printout says, things that make me a good egg. And then in each little corner, you can color it in and then add things that make you a good egg. So for the egg to be good, he had to fill himself first. So I want you to think of things that make you happy, things that make you feel full, things that fix your cracked shell so that you can go out and help others. So for me, I said walks with my puppy. He's pretty cute and we do like to go for walks, even though he barks sometimes. I also like to read in the sunshine. I love reading in general, but just something about being outside, especially right now, feels really good. I also said spending time with my family because I just love my family and they really fill my cup too. And then enjoying my morning coffee, or let's be real, coffee at any time because coffee is my favorite. But there's just something about being able to enjoy a cup of coffee, whether that's with a book or while you're journaling or anything like that. So these are things that are going to help put my shell back together and make me be a good egg so that I can go out and help others. So I would challenge you to think about at least 4 things. You can fit more in there if you want. That make you a good egg, that make your shell be put back together. And if you want to draw a picture or just write in the words, feel free to do that. So that is one extra activity that I would challenge you to do. The next one that I really love is something that you could just maybe fill out and keep it in your bedroom or put it up on the fridge, something to inspire you to go and do some good things to help you be a good egg. So this is your good egg checklist. And there's about 8 different slots on here where you can fill in things that you love to do and ways that you can help others, right? Because helping others is super important too. And that actually will probably make you feel good as well, especially during these times. So make sure you do a little bit of both though, just like we talked about. So if you only fill your list of ways to help others, then you're gonna crack. Your head's gonna be scrambled. But if you take time to do a little bit of both, things that make you happy and put your shell back together and ways that you can help others, you're gonna feel extra good. So just for a few examples, I said like read and journal in the morning, that would be for me. And then maybe I can write a friend a card. I could call my grandparents, drink all the coffee because I love coffee. I could spread some love with chalk art. If you've never done that before, it's so fun. Just get some chalk art out, go write some positive messages or draw some colorful pictures. It'll make somebody feel good when they see it. I'm gonna take my puppy for a walk because that makes me happy. Maybe drop off a treat for a neighbor and FaceTime a friend. So you can see there's a little bit of both, right? And there's gonna be a good balance between that of me being able to make myself happy and then also give love to others. So that will be in the principles too. And I would encourage you to do that with your family or maybe your siblings or anything like that. And then there's also a writing prompt in there if you want to fill that out. So this just says, in the good egg loves to help others. So think about a time that you helped someone, write about it and draw a picture below if you want to do that as well. So those will all be in the principles that I'm going to go ahead and put up into the description. I hope that you enjoyed this lesson. I hope you can think about this theme and apply it to your life all the time. You have to make sure you love yourself first. Don't let your shell get cracked from helping others all the time. If it does, just remember all you have to do is take a step away, think about those things that are going to make you a good egg, and then take some time to go through that, fill your cup back up, put your shell back together, get ready to go help others and be awesome, and you will be awesome. So I hope you loved the lesson. Thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.